What is up, Rad family? Today we are going on a fucking adventure. Are you ready? You should be, because your brain's gonna melt, you're gonna get a headache, you're gonna be confused, you're gonna question life and the existence of life and the purpose of life or not purpose of life. It's a lot. Today's a lot. So sit down, buckle the fuck up, and let's just jump right into SEUL alone. I just want to do a real quick thank you shout out to the game developer for sending me this game to play, but also this video is not sponsored, so just letting you guys know. It's about to begin again. Shh, I know. Well, how far do you think? Not very. Now keep quiet, would you? We're about to begin. I don't know what we're about to begin, but I'm a little nervous, honestly. Looking for something? Everything is black, but it feels thick, almost blankety. Complete darkness totally surrounds you. All you can now feel is a hard floor beneath your feet. It's smooth and polished. You're sure of that. The darkness can be felt against your skin. Ooh, that's creepy. I'm creeped out. Oh, I know, I know that feeling exactly. Like sometimes when I'm walking from a bedroom or bathroom in the middle of the night and it's super dark and all you can see is the outline of a closed door from the light inside that room, and then you just feel the compression of the no one. Okay, I'm gonna stop. We'll get back to the game. The darkness can be felt against your skin, like it has a solidity to it some way. There are no sounds or smells, but you feel if there were, they would have to work slightly harder to move through this velvet veil of blackness. You hear a lady with a soft, silky voice. Looking for something, darling? Okay, we got a choice. Wait, what? Where am I? Stay silent and feel your way around in the darkness. Honestly, I have no idea what is even happening, so I'm gonna go and say where am I? Because I have no clue where we are, so I'm just gonna go with that route. Wait, what? Where am I? Okay, something knows we're here. Remember. Oh, darling, you're back where you've been before, but never happened to stay too long. You always seem to have your mind made up and your bags packed. Come to think of it, her voice does have this familiar feeling in a way. Could this be a dream? It's never a dream, bud. It's never a dream. Is this a dream? What is your name? I mean, if it's a dream though, do your dreams tell you that they're dreams? I don't know. I would think not, but maybe they would. I don't know. What is your name? Let's find out more about her. Is this supposed to be her? Oh, so I'm getting a 1920s, 30s feel. Everything comes into focus, almost pushing the darkness away. It's her, the voice. As though she's slumped in the chair looking at you, almost as though she's watching you without any interest. Okay. A little mean, but whatever. Like she's seen a familiar face she knows all too well. Almost completely knowing you. Interesting. So we don't remember being here, but we're getting this familiar feeling, almost like a deja vu sense. But she knows us. It could be a dream. Not sure yet. Interesting. I'm captivated. Let's keep going. I guess I just have to keep silent on this one. Emiliana's? Oh, I am so bad at names. I am so sorry. As someone with, a hard to pronounce name, well, it's not really, but people pronounce it wrong all the time. You think I would be better at pronouncing other people's names, and I'm not. I'm sorry. So I'm gonna go with it's Emiliana. Nope, that doesn't sound right. Emiliana's the name, darling. Nice to meet you. She smirks coyishly, as if knowing something you do not. Well, I have a feeling she knows a whole shit ton that we do not. So let's keep asking her questions. Don't you want to know my name? A pleasure to meet you, Emiliana. May I call you Leanna? I feel like, why did I say Leanna, but Emiliana? Oh my god, I am so bad at names. I feel like I know you. It's so strange. I'm gonna say, I feel like I know you. It's so strange. I'm gonna be very honest. Well, darling, I would imagine so. After all the things you've done to me. Okay. She smiles flirtatiously. Okay. You know, that doesn't really tell us much. It just tells us what we already know, that she knows us more than we know her. So either we have had a serious head contusion. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Maybe we hit our head and we have amnesia. Done deal? Yes, done to me. Over and over again. The games we've played, the pain you've caused me. Okay. The pleasure? Oh, darling, the pleasure. She breathes deeply, slowly pushing her chest out, sinking even more into her chair. That doesn't sound comfortable. She closes her eyes. Her hands move down towards her knees and slither up to her inner thighs. Okay, this is a very sexy scenario. I feel like she should be a little concerned that we don't remember her, but we'll get to that later. I think you have me confused with somebody else. Maybe she's crazy, but this is too good to turn down. That's a little creepy. I'm gonna go with the first one. She opens her eyes and looks you up and down, studying every single inch. Unnerving. Her eyes and face all of a sudden switch from seductress. She quickly sits herself up while straightening her clothes and lifting her neckline slightly higher. Okay. Now, that's a little weird. How could she confuse us with somebody else if she was so certain who we are? Do we have a twin? Oh, I see now. Her voice is sharper and more estranged, less breezy and more businesslike. She keeps staring you, but her eyes stay transfixed on yours, searching, studying, weighing your soul, all through your eyes, all through a stare. Wow, okay. After a short while, which actually felt a lot longer than it was, she breaks her stare and the faintest smile emerges just below the stillness and then disappears just as smoothly. Like a large lake fish slowly and calmly rising to the surface to gulp down a piece of floating food, then heading back into the cool depths. Very descriptive, I like that. Yes, I see now, darling. You have a reader with you. Well, I can't help you with much, not in the state you are in. There's no fun to be had now. Perhaps next time, maybe. I think you'd be best on your way, and I have other things to worry about. But it was good seeing you, darling. I'll be seeing you next time. What the fuck is happening, man? Okay, a reader? What's that? Are we, like, going into, like, the ghost dimension? I don't know why my brain went there, but that's what it did. I don't know. That's a really bad theory, but that's all I got going right now in my head. Okay, then, move on into the darkness. Oh, yeah, someone's definitely dead. What is that? What is that? What is that creepy-ass picture? Oh, I do not like that. So, like, a mummy with like pantyhose over its head and then like snakes? No? Nobody? Okay. You walk on for some time, mainly just listening and waving your arms before you in order to not walk face first into anything. But you notice this is starting to gain longer breaks between each warm wave. Like your brain is getting used to the fact that there's nothing in front of you. Ugh, I don't like that. That idea is very chilling. Can you imagine like that sensation of being in a long dark hallway all by yourself and you keep expecting there to be a door and then there's no door, but then getting adjusted to that feeling? Ew. Every now and then a bit of fear pops back into your mind, and that there could be a wall or a sudden drop in front of you. So you slow, and cautious slows your movement, then relaxes again after some time. This is exhausting. It sounds exhausting, honestly. I would probably just want to take a nap at this point. You think to yourself, then a light pulses dimly just ahead, like being lost at sea and finally noticing the light emerging from a lighthouse after being misplaced at sea for days. The light offers hope, land, salvation. You move towards it, but slowly and cautiously with a serene calm. I would not be calm at this moment. I'd want to be running full force to the light. It could be the exhaustion or it could be precaution. It's too hard to tell. But one thing you already know is, in this place, sometimes the land can be more treacherous than the sea of blackness. Where the fuck are we? I definitely think we're dead. Okay, definitely dead. God, such creepy noises. Walk over to the light, stick to the darkness, and move away from the light. Walking straight to the light. I'm running to the light, but, what is happening? That sound! Okay. Just a picture of a man that's an amputee. Okay. What is that noise? Sounds like a mix between like a feral child growling and someone smoking a hookah. As you move closer, you realize the light wasn't pulsing at all, but swinging back and forth, Slowly coming to a standstill, it now just sits above a man with no arms sitting on an old cane and wood chair. He is staring right into your direction, but it seems as though there's been no notice of you yet. You are still in darkness, just on the boundary of view. I know you're out there, he yells. What is happening? What is happening? What is happening? I feel like I'm losing my mind. Walk into the light, step back into the darkness, and move on. I'm gonna walk into the light. I wanna know what this man, what's his story? Why is he sitting here in the middle of nothingness? You step into the light and it feels surprisingly warm. For some reason, you smell menthol and mint. The man is breathing steadily. He still hasn't made eye contact with you yet. His head is slightly tilted as if listening intently. Oh, maybe he can't see. You shuffle one of your feet to make a sound. He turns his head toward you. You realize yes, I am blind. I guessed it. He states, beating you to the thought as if he knew the shuffle of a foot was a test by the stranger before him. And armless in case you didn't notice. Oh, a smartass. A foxy smirk slips across his face as his head juts upright slightly. He has a gentlemanly voice, young but stern. He seems in good mood and you feel relaxed around him for some unknown reason. There are no walls around you, but the paneling of darkness has its way of making you feel as though when stepping into the light, it's like stepping into another room with divisions. And inside and outside the works. All the rules of physics a room comes with. I feel like I am this character. I feel like I am just as lost. How are you guys feeling? I'm feeling perplexed. You think of yourself. As you quickly glance the surroundings, there's the cane chair he is sitting on, and the floor is polished dark red wood with heavy grains across it. The deep yellow light bouncing off the floor gives the atmosphere of a thick wine red look to it all. It tans the man. He seems calm and cool, almost like a skin-toned brush stroke at the center of a canvas. That noise is distracting. Of a canvas completely monotone with the warm red. His pants in the chair are almost the same shade as the floor. Someone does not know how to interior decorate, apparently. He almost looks like a torso with a head floating in space. His pants are dark khaki and he is wearing blackish red boots. He is tall and gaunt. If he stood up, he would lurch over me, probably. Walking in the darkness, I see. What brings you over to me? I see. What an odd thing to say. The darkness. Yes, where is this place? I mean, yeah, that's literally the only thing running through my mind right now. Well, it's not dark in here, is it? For me, it's dark everywhere, but at different depths of gloom. It's the nothingness with a lot of something, someones, and somewheres. That does not answer our question. I didn't invite you. You must be a drifter or lost, or both. You'd better keep lost, drifter, for everyone's sake. Never stop. Never become still. Being still isn't your part to play in here. It's not the way things work. But then again, rules are meant to be played by. Till you question their existence, all I can say is don't leave your world here. There's no need to crash and burn. What does this riddle even mean? Okay, so we're walking in darkness. We're not supposed to stop, so we're supposed to travel through it. She's seen us lots of times. He's not mentioning that he's seen us before. But he sees other people. So are we in purgatory? Maybe? Are we in between life and death? Maybe we're in a coma somewhere, but she's seen us lots of times before, so we're repeating. But she was shocked that we didn't remember her, but we did sexy things to her. So I'm at a loss. A part to play, crash and burn, leave my world here. Who are you? I'm gonna go with the first one, because I feel like every question I just said to you guys. Yes, it's the reality things, I suppose. Reality things? What reality is this? Oh, wow. Okay. Lots to read here. He pauses for a long while. He then smiles, but not with his foxy, weary. Not with his foxy, weary. Honestly, wow, that's really embarrassing. I've never, had to pronounce that word out loud before. But a more understanding expression. An expression knowing the answers are needed. Don't you hate that when somebody knows but they're not telling you straight up and they relish in them knowing and you not knowing? I fucking hate that shit. Perhaps realities is a better way to phrase things. Sometimes one reality fades and another reality may blend through. Oh, so different universes, alternate universes, we're in between. Filling the first reality's pores, but other times they don't. Other times they exist with each other, held together by the need to just exist, rubbing shoulders, hugging one another, or at the worst of circumstances, battling one another where only one can ever be triumphant. Okay, I've heard like this theory before with like two universes and like paradoxes and all that jazz. Okay. It is at these times a fight for survival turns ugly, where one must eat the other who succumbs. I've seen this ugliness. I've been this ugliness. This ugliness is not just a state of mind. It is a necessity here, a mechanic of the workings, a rule of survival. But I don't know the fuck you trying to say. Love-hate relationships, but relationships nonetheless, all destined to set each other on fire at some point, lusting for each other like colliding galaxies. Then another may be born, making it three. Sometimes, though, it's just a vacant lot waiting construction to begin. A joke set in a room of unhappy individuals left to linger and dry in the center of the room. Oh god, that is embarrassing when that happens. Then to go on its own way, where it pleases, because it realizes within its own existence that it is not welcome there. Some sell themselves to the highest bidder. Some, well, they just fade away, move on, burn themselves out. Perhaps they are the smartest ones. Okay, it's like I want to take a guess at what he's trying to say, because like you get it. Like, it's there, it's self-explanatory, it's obvious, but I don't get how it applies to me. So he's just saying reality is based on our perception of things, so no one reality is real, is set in stone, which is actually true. We could both be looking at this game but experiencing completely different things because of our past experiences influencing our current perception. I love psychology, man. It is a mind-boggling science. I just want to know where I am, okay? But he can't really tell us where we are because it's where he's at, and we might not be where really he is. Oh my god, this is so confusing. My mind is melting. You notice his stature change, and an air of seriousness fills the room. Even the light in the room seems to slightly warm and darken, adding a dense gloom as he leans back against his chair, long and tall, chest and ribs exposed and laid bare. Why doesn't he have a shirt? Isn't he cold? Human existence is lonely. He sighs and blindly stares at you. I completely disagree with that statement. I think it can be as lonely or as not lonely as you choose to make it. It's tasteless and dull and full of negativity. Wow, horrible outlook on life. I am glad I don't have his perception of reality. I do not want to live in the reality he's living in. Subordinate sitting belong, that big fiery ball. Who gets to decide things? Anything? All things? And when decisions are made, who gets to enforce it? Should it entail surrounding all freedom? Is that the answer? Place ourselves in the decider's hands and the baker's hands and hope the decider or the baker knows what's next for us? Why trust either of them? Ha! Blind faith in a whole of truth. Okay, but I mean, maybe you can just decide some things, but I'm thinking he's thinking a little deeper than the immediate decisions. He shifts slightly and you feel yourself do the same, like someone yawning across the room and you in turn suddenly need to stretch your mouth. Maybe, thanks to a duality, one did not actually come before the other, and one is therefore not stronger than the other. So maybe, just maybe, the decided possibility even existed before the decision was even grappled with to begin with. If duality is the case, then they're all going to end up polarized in one extreme or the other. The cynics will lean towards the negative. You sound very cynical, bud. The optimists leaning towards the positive. Ha! Really, neither one of them is more correct than the other. In fact, they are both equally incorrect. All they're really doing is playing favoritism games. If one recognizes the whole for what it is, then it is plain to see that getting caught up in either pool positions is really not the place to be. He leans in, and although you know he is blind, you feel an odd sensation that he is staring right at you. Not just at you, but into you. You suddenly feel less comfortable, violated in some slight way, naked almost. So what of non-duality then? Well, it's foreign and not welcome as a concept to either of the extremists. Why? Because letting go of these attachments would mean a loss of identities. Yes, they're precious fucking conceited identities. So why do we even stop and ponder then? Why contemplate issues that never worry bother to you? Why build castles in the air? Because this needs to be addressed in order to understand the other of here, the purpose, the answer, the darkness you find yourself in, and all that it holds in here, all the baker has built in the outside where the crumbs dwell. Would you like to hear what the answer is? My mind is mush, so yes, tell me the answer, bud. Oh, you are quite the talker. The answer is nothing anyway. Fucking nothing. Ha ha ha. There is no... Wow, did you guys like my laugh? There is nothing existing in the first place. Do you see it yet? How negative, how pessimistic you may think. Well, that couldn't be further from the truth. See? Pessimism and optimism, as we just elaborated before, attach labels of value. Whereas this nothing sees that there are no values attached until one chooses to assign the label. It's detached, truly detached. And within the art of detachment, there is nothing... My eyes cannot read this font, okay? There's no normal code, but more a rule of thumb. Not to engage in any word or deed that would either enable attachment or hinder detachment, both in oneself and in others. Not because it's good, bad, right, wrongful, moral, or immoral, but because it is contrary to the essence of nothing in the first place. Okay. Guys, like, I get it. Going back and forth. But I also don't get it. His fox smile emerges faintly on the edge of his lips. The darkness that engulfs us refrains from assigning distinctions because it enables attachment, but the attachment comes from you and by your own choice. It does not hold anything within itself. Okay, that makes sense. Like, you have heard this argument before about murder is bad because in society we have told our society that murder is bad. But in another society, they can very well have the belief that murder is not bad. But murder is totally bad, though. So, like, stick with that. In regarding the darkness, you cannot assign a value to no value. But when you do, that in itself becomes a value. However, a value we have chosen to assign from our own point of view. It is no embodiment in the darkness itself. The darkness holds on to nothing. This game is deep. He relaxes back in his chair and his gaze moves off to the black backdrop, filling his lungs with deep breath. Of course, they're the ones that warp this darkness nature into a perversion of their own benefits. They give the false value that no value allows them to do whatever they wish, whatever they desire at all. But that is one big fucking contrary to what this all is. And if you wander around here long enough, you will find them, the ones who employ the darkness and misuse it for their own purposes. I hope you never come across them. You can't help but feel as though you notice a sense of duplicity in that last sentence. This place is not attached to anything. It is not good, it is not bad, it is not right, it is not wrong, it is not correct, and it is not incorrect. There is no position to take in here, for there is no position. It is not a value to uphold, and there is no value. It is, okay, he's repeating himself a lot. It is not a reason to have, for there is no reason. It is not a meaning to place, for there is no meaning. It is not a purpose to find, for there is no purpose. I mean, isn't having a purpose like what you make it? But then again, he's saying... He pauses and a smile fills out his cheeks. The fox smile has become has become something devilish. And it is not a narrative to follow and unravel through the choices of pathways, for there is no narrative. Oh, is that about the game? The softer fox smile returns and the fiendish look dissipates. It is not non-existence, because non-existence is a concept of some state that holds significance with conjunction to existence, meaning that non-existence is just another aspect that exists. No, this nothing, this darkness, what it is, can never be found so long as you are seeking and believing, be lying. There's a lie in there. Okay. Bold. No lie. Okay. Is that a little something we should remember? There is something to find. There is nothing to be found. Nothing and no thing. But it is not a suffering zone, bliss, perfection, utopia, mist, smoke, fog, void, or even empty space. It is nothing you can point to or allude to. It is not any sort of quality of state of being. Okay, we got it. And there is something, and there are no somethings here that actually are part of the darkness form. They are merely Indwellers, something filling a sort of space. It has no labels because it is beyond labels. Oh, there's more. Oh, okay, wow. Okay, I think I'm gonna be done talking to him, honestly, because he is just talking riddles and roundabouts and repeating. This shit doesn't feel like nothing to me. It feels like something. I'm something. I am. Surely if I am, then this is, or is it not? Is it really just nothing? But if you're there, isn't it something? I'm confused. How absurd. A way station of nothing? You think to yourself as your head hurts and you're accurate. And are filled with the feeling that there is something not quite real about any of this. You and all of anything that is something, there is just a visitor, a tourist, a tenant. You should really try to understand what it is you think you are getting yourself into. And to understand, this is to reach an understanding that there really isn't anything to understand. Ha! And to understand this is to reach but looking at you, I think you still are not ready for it. I'm not. Because you play this game with choices and pathways that leave attachments that you can never get rid of. Your ideas, beliefs, concepts, and convictions made you choose your very path to here. Yes, I'm all for that. That is very much into the theory that there's no such thing as not being free of bias. Your value, purpose, meaning, other narrative, your distinctions of good, bad, wrong, right, evil, good, correct, and incorrect make you play a game that isn't worth playing. Should I not play this then? What are you trying to say, bud? But you still cannot tell because you have played it as everyone else. And you have played it. And you have played SEUL with all of us in here. And no individual necessarily has a place in it. So am I not supposed to play the game? Is that telling me that this game is nothing? And no point. His body relaxes, his head leans back over his chair, his neck stretches as his Adam apple punches out from his throat. Ow. Whenever someone has like a super pronounced Adam's apple, it always like, I don't know, I imagine like it hurts for some reason when you do stuff like that. It moves up and down like a ping pong ball pushed by air as he whispers something over and over again. You can not hear it, but his voice sounds like a wet serpent moving through reeds in shallow gray water. Ew, creepy. Move close and listen to his words. Leave him be. He has said all there is. I'm gonna say leave him be, just because I want to see what else there's out there. Unless there's nothing else out there. Oh no. Retreating to the bowels of dark, you feel it cover you, submerge you in a black smudge. Ew. At this moment, you truly do feel unconnected to everything except the black. A severed roamer, a vagabond, a drifter, an explorer, a floating and displaced self of what I am somewhere else. Wandering the darkness seems to go on for a while. The black canvas begins to play tricks on your perception and even lacerate through thoughts as at almost randomized moments. Sounds buzz by, but yet don't actually seem to be there. There seems to be something comforting in the negative space, though. Something deeply safe, like a child hiding under a blanket from a monster. Oh, that's a nice thought. You notice you are just walking now, and any caution of walking into something has vanished along with the fear of what else could be out there in the dark. And wait. One foot in front of the other, That's foolish, though, because he just told you, I hope you never run into these beings that truly feel nothing. And that, like, everything is just, like, they cater to their own whims and whimsies? Whims and whimsies? You know what I'm trying to say. So, I mean, I would be a little cautious, but then I guess you would probably, I don't know, guys. This whole game is just, I don't know what I'm playing. One foot in front of the other, stepping forward onwards in what seems like a straight line. You've even stopped scanning your surroundings at this point, as any glimmer of light would stand out like the sun after an eclipse. Photophobia, a symptom of abnormal intolerance to visual perception of a light. So we're like in like an old-timey circus kind of setup, I guess? Maybe? The music and like the way the pictures look, that's what I'm thinking. Your eyes suddenly burst into pain. Like looking into the sun, they begin to force themselves closed. The sound of buzzing of artificial lights turning on all at the exact same time echoes through you. I was alone. Is that all you can think of as your eyes begin to cease burning and start to adjust opening themselves? Adjusting quicker than you expected. Everything in front of you is illuminated. A man's voice, the man sitting in front of you. Lumina Bureau. A moth left open, gaping, looks just like a trash can. Suddenly is dark again. What the fuck does that mean? Lumina Bureau? Lumina Bureau. Is that another language? I'm not quite sure. Is it a spell from Harry Potter? That's kind of what it sounds like. In the pitch black, you can still see the negative silhouette of the room and the strange man sitting in the middle of the room. I mean, I'd kind of try to wander forward and like try to feel him, right? Just see if he's really there. The brightest lit parts left at just green, orange, and white imprints on what was there. All the caution alertness have spiked through your being. You move forward with arms waving, eyes wide open, surveying for any glimpse of flicker of light. Breath held, ears pricked out to any sound. Heavy heart pounding and racing, legs feeling shaky but agile. You move on, but in an entirely different fashion this time, ready for what might come. Damn it. Damn this place and its non-rational shit. You think as you move forward like an exposed lamb who wandered too far from the flock. Yeah, and surrounded by wolves. In the fucking dead of night. Everything and everyone here are so unknown, so obscure that it's a constant threat. Everything is a threat in here. Everything. Even myself? Question mark? You feel your chest tighten along with your fist, your jaw clenched, and the panic is quickly turned to anger and frustration, then to a determination. Your strides forward become more controlled, pushing out all the fear as it becomes replaced with resolve. This fuel won't last forever, but it feels good for a while as you move on. Well, I mean, if it's nothing, would you get tired? Like, if you just didn't allow yourself to think tired, would you get tired? There's lights! Electricity on the farm. I've actually been to like a carnival that was done up to where it looked old school like this, and it was in the middle of nowhere actually, and it was pretty creepy honestly being there in the middle of the night, and like you had like a lot of other people with you, so it wasn't like that scary, but like having like a shit ton of people crammed into like, you know, this little area, and then knowing you're surrounded by nothingness and like darkness and trees was pretty unsettling. So that's what I'm kind of like picturing right now. You stop just before a group of interconnected tents. As you take a step closer, you look down and the light spread over and through the tips of dark green grass. It's so dense that the light seems only to blanket its surface, like light trying to penetrate itself into the depths of a green lagoon. You squat down and run your hands over it. Warm. Its touch is soft and damp. Part of you just wants to lay down in it and rest. I would totally probably do that, honestly. Squatting feels good too. Bending the knees and hips makes you realize how long you've been walking for. You look back up at the tents and read the signs overhanging the entrance. Electricity on the farm? Lumini Bureau. Electricity. Surely it's connected. You ponder as you take a deep breath and begin to stand. Your knees creak and feel rusty as you return yourself to the upright position you spent so much time in. Okay. Move towards the entrance. Avoid this place and move on to the depths of darkness. Just give up and lay on the grass. I mean, I kind of want to do that and see what happens, but then I also want to move towards the entrance. Let's just give up and lay on the grass and see what happens. I wish I could find the dog, honestly. Fuck this shit. That's exactly what I'd say too. You crouch back down and lay your back on the grass just at the edge of the lit area. It feels good. Really good. The grass to your body seems like the most comfortable thing it has ever rested itself on. Your back slowly cracks as you relax more. That's not good, bud. Your feet and hips are the sorest part of your body in pain, but relieving pain begins to surge through them. You look over at the tents. There's no wind, no movement, no sound, no signs of life. Almost like a still picture, except you know it isn't because you can feel its third-dimensional presence, and of course you're laying on its grass after all. You look straight up into the black void sky or ceiling. Do you think as you move your head around slowly, canvassing every angle of the darkness you are entombed in? It's so suffocating, but at the same time, so enormously big. It's never fucking ending. Kind of like claustrophobia if you think about it. Like, you don't have... You know how, like, claustrophobia, it's supposed to be like when you're... the fear of being in small spaces, but sometimes it can also just be from the feeling of being in a small space. So like if like you're like restrained, that can trigger that feeling. What is this okay, I'm hearing sounds of like death. That is what I'm hearing right now. So this is definitely death related. Laying there, anger begins to simmer again. I'm not fucking doing this anymore. You can all get fucked. Again, exactly what I would say. I'm done. I'm done with all of this shit. Do you hear me? You turn and look towards the tents. There's no one. oddly, you realize you want there to be somebody. Of course you fucking want there to be someone. You're all alone. That sounds fucking miserable. I mean, it sounds great for a day, honestly, but after that, it sounds like I would go crazy. Anyone, anything, but there isn't. Just some tents beckoning me to go in and investigate. Probably just end up with less than before I entered. Less of myself and more of something less like me. More of what this hellhole is doing to me. What should I do? Is there any point in any of this? What should I do? You should get up or just lay there. Honestly, if this was me, well, you'd want to investigate, and like obviously I'd investigate, but like she has seen me several times, so I think I've been through this several times. So I think I would just, if there's not going to be anyone, I would relish in the physical contact of the grass. So I'm just going to say, I'm just going to lay here and see what happens. Oh, okay. Lots of scrolling up, lots of scrolling up, lots of scrolling up. Where are we? Where are we? There we are. You lay there looking into the dome of darkness surrounding your little grassland set. With the comfort of the ground beneath you and the immutable humming of a subtle industrial ambiance, your mind begins to wander into a translucent state, like a half daydream almost. A voice within your mind starts to come into volume. It seems like it is your voice, but at the same time, it isn't. At first it comes, oh my god, can you imagine being in this place and also not being able to hear your own thoughts? That gives me the heebie-jeebies. At first, it comes riding into your mind like turning the volume dial up and then down again rather quickly. Only words or broken words come through to begin with. Sage, behind, life, absurdity, nothing left to give, cannot feel anything. It touches. You lay there and just listen. Great, this fucking place has made me lose it. I'm finally breaking. My life is over, all over. I'm laying here having a breakdown. Honestly, but I think you're already having a breakdown. I think that ship has sailed. Life? Ha! That's what the blind call it in fools. Death. The awful burden of birth, of tumbling out. Okay, first off, you should not be tumbling out of your mother's vagina. Okay, it should be a little more an easier transition. Wow, word. Kaylin, great commentary. First of all, you should not be tumbling out of your mom's vagina, okay? Like, I'm concerned. And second of all, again, very pessimistic. No easing in the condition either. The only unforgivable sin is the ultimate treachery. The funniest misfortune is to have not died in the womb. Damn! The voice at full volume now coming through loud and clear. It isn't startling at all to you. It doesn't bother you the slightest as you feel yourself ease into a dream where it is sunny and waters flood the sky above and mountains protrude from its body, pointing downwards. The sun seems to be ever moving, bobbing up and down from just behind the horizon, dimming and brightening only the slightest. The ground is covered in a dark green moss that spreads every which way as far as the eye can see. Existence is intolerable. The voice calmly adds, as you look around the dream world, you notice 3 owls standing on the side of the tree staring up towards the water-flooded sky. Perhaps they cannot fly because of the water? Okay, again, probably a lot of symbolism there that I am just not getting. Feel something, make sure to cry. The voice intrudes again. You step back and turn around as you feel a strong presence. Just behind you, the shock makes you lose your footing as you stumble back, landing tail first, hitting the ground. Tail first? I guess tailbone. The hard hit rattles you. Let's move on, shall we? Misery. It has moved all people at some time or another, embracing and fondling them. Leading some down the cobblestone pathway of depravity, then abandoning them, leaving them to make the ultimate decision, the greatest philosophical question. Let's give reality a call. Everything begins to turn bright. You feel a vibration throw through you. Who the hell was that? Okay, an overexposed picture. It's bright and fuzzy, but you are sure you can make out a man's face staring at you. You feel as though you are being transported somewhere. Transitioned, you think. Okay, are we getting did we die? Did we kill ourselves? And now we're like in the in-between and now we're being rebirthed? Probably not, but we'll find out. Come over and take a look. How many times have you experienced moments or acted certain ways, said things or heard things said that you hope one day you'll understand? Like this right now? So many days pass us by, hours, minutes to seconds. The only constant is the change. Changing until the entire world is completely different and you just may be the last one who remembers how it once was. Well, I don't even remember how it once was, bud, so like I'm already out of this. The last of you, the current you, ever-changing versions of you, but not always upgrades. Very true. People like to think like, oh, you've changed. Well, change is a wonderful thing, and you should constantly be changing. As you experience new things, you should never be the same person when you wake up as you were yesterday. That being said, you can change to be an asshole. So, keep that in mind. Ever-changing versions of you, but not just always upgrades. Most of the times, just wear and tear. You can't help yourself as you approach the window to peer in, guided and willed by another force. Is that a guy with a dog head? But like frog feet? What is this? What am I looking at here? A creature of a man in a suit sits silently playing the violin. How could you silently play the violin? Are you not playing it, or are you playing it quietly? Sounds like paradox. You cannot hear any music. It plays slow and methodically. You can't help but feel overwhelmingly sad. The voice continues. Anything unexplainable to science is either madness or divinity. Life, I like that. Life spends our time, possibly our most valuable asset, preparing us for this. You see, it's not about discovering anything, but more understanding it. Well, then I'm failing here. To see what a martyr dies for, to know those things for what they are, a way to head home to the word we call hope. Hope, yes, to hope, to know just enough to understand that you know nothing at all, left in the free and clear. Okay, again, not really helping me understand here, bud. You continue watching the silent creature through the window. Understanding the things we live and die for allows us to become naked, to open up to ourselves and our emotions, responding to what makes us human. Oh, okay. So this whole, you're just fumbling through and assigning meaning to things. To, space and time seems arbitrarily, but to your current self is everything. Am I making any sense? Is this game making me like talk in circles and not make any sense? Oh God. I think it's affected me. We always seem to manage to destroy what we love. I am just the contemplation of a dreamer before sleep after all. I just wish you would express your hopes and fears that you always dare not, because time is always against you. Ain't that the fucking truth, bud? Don't leave things for tomorrow. Today is the puzzle. Yesterday was your clue. Make the tomorrows your completion that will never arrive until the game ends. Damn, fucking make me think about death and shit, man. You feel yourself fading out. You know this is the end of you. Your entire self has given way. Close your eyes. On the end where it began. What a game we all played when... what is this? Close your eyes onto the end where it began. Is this like a baby lizard? What am I looking at? I feel like this is a baby lizard. It can't be a baby lizard. Is this like a fetus? Wow. I should probably study some anatomy, huh? What a game we all play when we are truly soul alone. The end. Guys, my mind is a buzzin'. Is your mind a buzzin'? Because mine is. I am confused. I feel like I kind of know the point and meaning of this game, but I'm also very much unsure. But I think that was the point. I think that was the point. So I guess the meaning of this game is for you to realize that, again, could possibly be totally fucking wrong here, but how I'm taken away from this first time playing this game is that even if you think life has no meaning, or that we tie arbitrary values to objects and feelings and morals, you can be aware of its arbitrariness. Is that even a fucking word? That is totally not a fucking word. You can be aware that it's arbitrary and is fleeting, and that life may or may not be anything or something. What? I don't know. This game is really fucked in my head. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say is, even if you don't know the point or purpose of life or afterlife or any of that, does it ever fucking really matter? You are in the here and now. Your existence is right now. You might exist later. You already existed in the past. You might have existed a billion times. But at the end of the day, all you have is now. I think. What do you think? Leave me down in the comments. I would love to fucking have a discussion about this shit because I feel like I am not doing it justice.